A startling story out of Michigan. Prosecutors accusing a mother of catfishing and harassing her own daughter.
Welcome to WatchMojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the infamous times harassers and tormentors of folk were served delightful consequences for their actions.
Nauseating allegations and now criminal charges against a freshman who admits to contaminating her roommate's personal belongings.
Number 10. Bad Christmas present. If you need something that restores your faith in humanity, then we present you with the actions of these bystanders. In 2014, McLeish Christmas Benham showcased his terrible behavior at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport.
Soon after the video starts, he quickly comes up to a man in a pink shirt and appears to be harassing him.
The intoxicated traveler got into an argument with staff, then turned his ire to other people as they tried to calm him down. The recorded footage happened after Benham already punched one person.
Those standing around move closer and closer, watching carefully, seemingly ready just in case.
Now, after uttering homophobic slurs to a guy simply because he was wearing a pink top, Benham kicked him below the belt. Immediately, a group of men descended and restrained the attacker until the cops slapped the cuffs on.
DFW Airport Police managed to get the man in handcuffs and took him out of the terminal.
Benham was fined $474 for his awful actions. Number 9. Coffee can. Some toxic people believe that they can do whatever they want without consequences. But no. After working with the franchise Costa Coffee from 2007, working her way up to area manager, Sharon Kane's career suddenly ended in 2022 after a disciplinary hearing ruled against her. However, Kane didn't believe this was fair and took her former employers to a tribunal to claim compensation. As a result, her dirty laundry was aired publicly. A host of accusations came out about Kane, including browbeating staff, causing emotional harm, and openly belittling workers. In 2023, the court dismissed Kane's claims, ending her hope of a final payday. Number 8. The e-commerce con. There's probably not a worse seller in the eyeglasses game than Vitaly Borker.
While his customers tremble, Borker seems to revel in vindictiveness.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times he has been arrested on charges related to his company's Decor My Eyes, Optics Fast, and Eyeglasses Depot. Borker would be rude to customers whose online complaints ironically caused traffic to his sites to increase.
Customers who pay for repairs, for example, might find their frames have been returned, with obscenities etched into the lenses.
As such, his behavior got worse as he made threats, harassed, and scammed clients who complained about the product. In 2012, Borker was sentenced to 4 years. In 2018, he was sentenced to 2 years in jail for breaking his parole by setting up a new company and going back to his terrible ways.
It was only up for a matter of minutes. She put up there the name Vitaly Borker, and she put, he's at it again. Look up Decor My Eyes.
In 2022, Borker was back in cuffs after committing fraud and identity theft with another new company. He's currently awaiting sentencing after pleading guilty. Number 7. Teaching badly. Teachers are meant to help students who are being harassed, not encourage the terrible behavior. Unfortunately, Adrena Smith was not a typical educator.
24-year-old Adrena Smith offered to pay 5 students $5 each to tackle their classmate.
While working as a substitute physical education teacher at North Caddo Elementary Middle School in Vivian, Louisiana, she offered 5 students $5 each to attack one of their classmates. After some of them took the offer and beat their fellow student, Smith was recorded congratulating them.
Deputies say video shows Smith appearing to congratulate the students who participated.
She also didn't help the beaten student as they lay on the ground, instead remaining seated in the bleachers. Unsurprisingly, in 2022, Smith was arrested for her terrible actions and was charged with several counts.
She's charged with contributing to the delinquency of juveniles and malfeasance in office. Investigators say more arrests are pending.
She was also fired from the Caddo Parish School District. Number 6. Rich Justice. In recent years, there have been several reports about Amazon's iffy working conditions.
According to the Washington Post, the group says 160 workers left the Air Hub mid-shift yesterday over low wages and concerns regarding heat safety.
And not many had it as bad as Michael Kopp at their fulfillment center in San Bernardino, California. For 4 years, he was tormented by coworkers who targeted his developmental disorders. He was called vile slurs and belittled regularly. When Kopp complained to higher-ups, nothing happened. After he fell ill from stress in 2020, Amazon bosses refused to acknowledge his doctor's note and told him to go back to work.
We want safety, no retaliation! We want safety, no retaliation!
So Kopp left, and he was later fired. In 2023, after issuing a lawsuit against his former employers, a jury awarded Kopp $1.2 million for the emotional distress he had experienced.
Corporate greed has got to go!
Number 5. TikTok tirade. In 2023, influencer Jackie La Bonita was trying to take a video at a Houston Astros game. Instead, she captured 2 wannabe cast members of Mean Girls, showcasing vile behavior.
Watch my confidence disappear after these random girls make fun of me for taking pics.
On top of flipping the bird and barely hiding it, they gave her dirty looks, recorded her on their phone while yelling lame and loudly criticized her to each other.
I can literally hear the whole convo. Realizing they are talking about me, feeling super self-conscious.
Unfortunately for them, the internet was livid. Even celebrities like Cardi B showed their displeasure. People discovered the identities of the 2 women and doxed their details. This forced the 2 to make a TikTok video explaining their actions, which didn't go down well.
Just be considerate of who's in the background. Like, girl, we could see ourselves more than you could in your own picture.
Not long after, La Bonita met up with the women, and they apologized for their behavior. Number 4. The Baseball Beast. After playing baseball professionally, Jim Foster moved into coaching the sport at several colleges and academies. In 2022, he joined Northwestern University as the head baseball coach for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Just 3 days after firing head football coach Pat Fitzgerald, Northwestern dismissed that another coach, this time head baseball coach Jim Foster, after just 1 season on the job.
Yet just over a year later, Foster's career came to an abrupt end. Over his time in charge, various coaches resigned and at least 15 players entered the transfer portal, all to escape Foster's hazing and tormenting methods.
It's not even like in a correction way. Like, he's not trying to help. He's not trying to correct things. He's just like disrespecting people and speaking to them as like lessers. And that was like shocking to me.
He was accused of intimidating injured players so much that others hid their injuries from him. After an investigation by the college's HR department, which was criticized for its long length, Foster was fired.
Like, it shouldn't have taken these allegations in the media for it to get out for him to be fired, just on principle of...
However, 3 former employers issued a lawsuit against Northwestern for receiving negative consequences after reporting Foster's deeds. Number 3. Motorbike menace. Professional racers and mechanics should have a harmonious relationship, but that certainly wasn't the case for motorcycle rider Tom Booth Amos and his unidentified Italian mechanic.
We knew all the time that we had the video, and we were just kind of kept to keep quiet.
In 2022, footage of what happened at the 2019 Thailand Grand Prix for the Moto3 World Championship rocked the industry. As Booth Amos walked with his team, one of the mechanics suddenly exploded in rage and kicked the racer multiple times.
Oh, guys, it's simple.
The racer came forward and said he retired from the Thai race after a mechanic failure on his bike, which seemingly upset the worker at the time. Booth Amos was also told not to say anything about it. Once the story got out, the vicious mechanic was fired from his role at Sterile Garda Max Racing Team.
It was a tough year, let's say. It wasn't easy at all. A lot of things went on, and we were paying a lot of money to be there, and stuff was going on that shouldn't be happening. So yeah, it just spiraled out of control.
Number 2, Mother Monster. In 2021, a teenage girl who studied at Beale City Public School in Michigan was receiving a host of hateful cyber messages from an unknown source. Even her boyfriend was getting them as well as a friend.
We're talking about several hundreds of text messages. I mean, over 1,000 pages of discovery in the case.
After a police investigation, it was discovered that the culprit was the daughter's mother, Kendra Licari. The terrible mom and catfisher, who had worked as a basketball coach at her daughter's school, had manipulated her digital location to make it seem like another student was responsible.
Police say Licari used software to hide her location and used several different numbers and area codes to appear to be other Beale City students sending the messages. Then Lakari herself helped her daughter report it to police.
Reportedly, there were hundreds of pages of abusive messages. In 2023, Lakari, as part of a deal, pleaded guilty to some of the charges. She was sentenced to jail for between 19 months and 5 years.
Lakari was sentenced 19 months to 5 years behind bars after pleading guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Roommate from Hell. After Chanel Rowe joined the University of Hartford in Connecticut, she was placed in a room with Brianna Brochu.
Disturbing allegations against 18-year-old college student Brianna Brochu, reportedly bragging on social media that she secretly mistreated her African-American roommate, Chanel Jazzy Rowe.
The two apparently had issues, but it wasn't until Rowe moved out that she discovered the extent of her roommate's animosity when Brochu bragged about her actions on Instagram. She stated she smeared Rowe's stuff in bodily fluid and moldy food and referred to Rowe as Jamaican Barbie.
That's disgusting. I can't fathom how Jazzy Chanel can feel right now. I cannot.
As well as being arrested, Brochu was also expelled from the uni. In 2018, Brochu entered an accelerated rehabilitation program, escaping criminal charges on her record in exchange for 2 years of probation and 200 hours of community service.
The former University of Hartford student faced protesters and cameras as she left the courthouse.
The judge added that Brochu would be punished enough after people, such as employers, look her up online. Which film harasser sticks in your mind as the worst of all time? Ace in Stand By Me, Fred in Dazed and Confused, Draco Malfoy, or someone else? Let us know below.
Come to see the show.
You foul, loathsome, evil little cockroach.
Hermione, no.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.